Hey, coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. As I've told you before, I respond to your messages, your emails, your Facebook Football Talk with Coach Chip on Facebook, at Chip Siegel on Twitter, the comments down below here on the YouTube channel, Football Talk with Coach Chip. And I responded to a direct message on Twitter a day or two ago and had a good exchange. I want to say I'm not going to use his name, don't have permission to. Y'all know you've heard me say that before. And plus, somebody in his on his schedule might be also a subscriber to Football Talk with Coach Chip. I think he's from Ohio though, because on his Twitter he has a Woody Hayes, and so that's a very distinct possibility. All right. He has been watching, and he watched the episode about Buck without a sniffer. I think it was way back in the first or second season, and said that they were looking at, they're a buck team, they're a spread buck team, just like this play you see diagrammed here. And he said they didn't want to give away the conversation they've been having in the off season that they're running buck or they're running power by relocating the H, the Y. I think his team calls it a Y. Let's just call him a sniffer, relocating him into the B gap so he can do the J block, the kick out on the power. And he was saying this, and he sent a really cool diagram of a long trap, and it's outstanding. And we talked about it back and forth. And I said, hey, coach, I said, I try to be viewer slash subscriber driven. I'm going to make a video about this and let's talk about it. And so I came up with several ideas. And I remembered several years ago, I told y'all that the trap is a great alternative to zone. If you're not a zone team, the quick trap, the inside trap. But also, I remember talking to this coach, a team that I talked to, two or three coaches, that they run long trap instead of power. And you don't need the sniffer located in the B gap inside. Okay. All right, let's look. This is basic buck with backside RPO. Okay. Don't forget our friends at Right Equipment, right-equipment.com for all your weightlifting and speed and training needs. They're going to be prominently located on each one of the slides on this presentation. Speaking of slides, don't forget, subscribe, like, share. And also, if you send me the receipts where you subscribed and or shared, I will send you a totally free presentation via email, okay, of several things that I have out there, PDFs that are shareable. You can share them with your coaches, share them with your kids, and it's a lot of things that we've done here on Football Talk with Coach Chip. All right, this is the basic buck with backside RPO. Oh, the other thing that he said, he didn't want to have a run read on the backside. He said, what can we do? He said, what do you think of this? And what he gave me was tremendous. I told him that's a great play, great concept, especially for what he's wanting to accomplish. So here's where we're starting from. This is my basic buck with backside RPO from the spread gun. And we won't get into all the teaching the RPO. There's plenty of videos, and I'll link those at the bottom about the RPOs off the buck. I mean, this channel is full of them. And notice you got your front side pre-snap access. Can be a hitch. It'd be what I call a smoke. And then you got your RPO on the back side of the play. All right, now this is very similar to what he sent me. A long trap with backside RPO from spread gun. Now here, in my way of thinking, now I could be wrong, and I want y'all to tell me if you think I am. I don't want to argue, but I do want to exchange ideas. You're going to have to read somebody at some point, okay? And if you got a quarterback that's not mobile, or you don't want to put him in harm's way by having him run the football by reading this backside in, to me, you need to read this will, okay, or figure out a way that you can block him. And I'm going to show you some ways it's possibly you can do it. And I'm not saying any of these is the right way, but I'm presenting several different ways to do it. And because, like I said, I want this channel to be viewer slash subscriber driven. And see, to me, reading that will is easy. If your quarterback can just throw a cat out of the cockeyed house, you can read that will. And I'll put some stuff at the bottom about how you teach that thing. because I've taught some kids to do it. I had a ninth grader that did it. We did it in JV football when a couple of years ago when the varsity coaches, we would go and do the JV games, try to build our program. And I had a ninth grader out there reading the snot out of it in JV games. So, I mean, it's possible. And the guy, our varsity quarterback that year, it was really his first year playing real football. He had played 3 games of under center wing T as a 10th grader in a JV. And his first varsity game, we were out there throwing RPOs. Kid threw for about 2,000 yards. Not that night. All right, now here's the long trap using pre-snap access. Now notice, well, let's go back. We're combo double teaming here. So if that Mike tries to do a run through right here, this guard's got to come off. Now what I would do, I would tell my tackle, you're staying no matter what. Only the guard can come off. I used to call this a chip block. And I quit because kids just want to touch him. Just call it a combo double team and just tell the guard, you're the only one coming off if the mic inserts right here. Okay. And if the mic doesn't insert, so he's going to play over the top of it, your wing, your H is coming right here. And I think the trap's going to be there because this is going, you do it like the old wing T down play. You threaten that end thinking he's about to get down blocked. And you do this if you're a buck team now. This is what I'm saying. If you're a buck team and you've been bucking them and bucking them and bucking them, and this guy's been getting down blocked by this H and is really pressure, pushing out against the pressure, against the down block, he'll come down like he's going to down block him, just like on the old down play, under center with tight end and wing, and miss him. Okay, miss him, go over the top of him, and then go get that mic scraping over the top. Of course, in this one, we got the guard getting him if he comes here, the H getting him if he comes over the top, but nobody to get the wheel. So if the wheel is triggering on a pulling guard and runs through right here, there's a good chance he's going to make the play right here. Okay, that's why I like reading him. All right, now here's the long trap with pre-snap access. Now this time what we're saying is you tell your guard to chip off, keep his eyes on the wheel, and if the wheel is trying to run through, now I think if the wheel runs through right where the guard came from and makes the play, your running back is slow. Okay, but if he goes through this A gap, play side A, he can make that play right here. And so you tell the play side guard, eyes inside looking for Will, and he comes off and gets him if that cat tries to come through here. Okay, and then what you're saying is the mic's going over the top. Now I can't imagine for the life of me why the wheel would go A gap and the mic would go insert A gap. That's why I believe this will do it. All right, and you're pre-snapping over here. Okay, you got your bubble, and it doesn't have to be a bubble. If this guy's cheating inside right here, just tell your quarterback, flash fake and throw that bubble. Or you can throw a now pass to the wide receiver and let him go block. That's only if this guy's in here. You say, why do you do that if the play's all the way over here? It's constraint so you can come back and run a counter. Okay, you want to keep his butt out of the box. All right, now here's another way of doing it. This is the short trap, classic wing T. And everybody else. I mean, Nebraska did it out of the eye back in the day. Here's your classic short trap, and notice the angle of the back's a little different. Okay, right here. Boom, you're hitting that joker right here. Again, we got an RPO because we can't account for him. And you said, well, why don't you let the tackle climb up through there and get him? Well, what if that end is a squeezer? And he's squeezing down right here, making the play. And remember now, we're doing this under the mindset we don't want the quarterback to have to read this guy and keep it. Okay, I know we could climb right here, okay, and block him and not worry about reading him, and then let the quarterback read this end. And if he squeezes, then the quarterback disconnect and replaces right here. Okay, I know we can do that, but we're operating under the premise the viewer, the coach that I was talking to, doesn't want to do that. Okay, I didn't get into why. It's none of my business why. The kid may be a statue back there with a great arm. Okay, the kid may be a great leader, but not a great athlete. Here's the other thing. He may be a junior or senior and the best one they got. Obviously he is. He's starting. And the backup is a ninth grader that can't throw a cat out of the house. So we don't want to get him in harm's way as much as we can avoid it. Okay, you got to do things like that. Remember, everybody's team is different. And that's why I'm very cautious not to judge when I just see, because I'm not at practice every day. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So why didn't they do this? Could be because the quarterback's dinged up. Could be because the quarterback has the ability to do it. Who knows? There's a multitude of reasons why. But this short trap is also a good alternative to the power. All right, now here's short trap again with pre-snap access. Again, not reading the wheel. We're just going to block it like this. Boom. Okay. And pre-snap access is outside backer and see if he's giving us leverage so we can throw that joker. Now, here's another problem with this. If this dude comes right now, that tackle's not getting there. Okay. If this dude's reading right through here and he sees that and he is fast plugging, okay, he's fixing to be tackling practice, okay, between the dummies, okay, the first week in pads back in August. And that's one of the reasons I don't, that's the reason I like it. I'm not totally addicted to RPOs, but if you're going to spread the field to spread the other team out, you need to do something. You got to read somebody, in my opinion, okay? Or the defense can take things away from you. Again, the reason I like the RPO, just talking to a friend of mine, it's just like old triple option football. It gives the offensive coach the ability to have the pen in his hand last because he's given the quarterback a way out of a bad play. You've all been there, you've all done that. You called the play and you looked. Either you call timeout or you hope for the best. But when you have options, whether they're run read options or run pass options, you have an opportunity to have the pen in your hand last, and that's why I like them. So the short trap with pre-snap access works if these guys aren't fast plugging right here. Okay. All right, I love this one. This is I call it a gut block because the guard is wrapping around. I've talked to other coaches that call us some things. I talked to a coach a few years ago that calls this a trap. It says it's a linebacker trap. I said, okay, cool. I understand that. Hey, I told y'all, man, coaching football is like cooking. You season to taste. Now, I love this one. You're getting a fan block, is what I call it, on the tackle. Okay, on the three tech right here. You got a great angle. I love angles. Y'all know that. God gave them to us. We better use them. So you just turn out right here. Okay, you block back right here with your center on the one or the two eye. Okay, now this one I got the backside RPO again because look, we can either climb here and get him and read this guy, or we can gap flip, gap hinge, and read this guy. Okay, but this right here is a good play right here. You got a turnout block right here, a little fan block on the five, and he's coming over the top right here, going to the safety. Now, if you can read this guy right here and make him stay back, make him play soft, you got a heck of a football play. All right, what if we don't want to do that? All right, now, this is really getting into the weeds, but it's something I've done in the past, especially against odd fronts. Tackle fold, and he ain't waiting. He's taking a step right here because everybody else is blocking it the same except the tackle. What we're saying is we're not going to block the DN, okay, to the play side. You're going to take a flat step, a little bit back, almost like a bucket step if you're outside zone kind of guy. Boom, and come right off his butt, climbing to that mic. And your backside guard will wrap to the backside wheel. Now, coaches understand, say, Coach, you can't do all this stuff that you're showing us. No, you can't. That's why I'm giving you so many things. Pick which one you like or pick which one you can live with. I mean, that's what you do. That's like in my big book of bucks. There's so many bucks in there, you can't do them all. Get your copy. Contact me, siegel.chip@gmail.com. All right, I'm not giving you things, telling you to take all these things in. Okay? It's like a good cover band. They got an hour set to play at the music festival. They can't play everything they know. They're a cover band. They can probably play all the hits. Okay, I'm just giving you a bunch of hits. You got to pick which one to play. You got to come up with your own playlist. You know what I mean, Hoss? All right, so he's going to wrap around right here, fold, go get him right there. The the wing, is not going to block the end. He just unless the end is squeezing like a mug, and he wants to cross the end's face. He wants to run right through the tackle's hip, where the hip was. Come right here. And if he collides with the end, okay, great. Keep fighting through. If he fights across the end's face, we win. The only way he loses if he does an excuse me block and stops right here and lets the end cross his face, and then we got an issue. Just teach that guy, don't let him cross your face, come ripping through the the hip, the play side hip of the tackle, and climb and make that end come off his backside. And then we win. We ain't got to block him. Just got to make him come right through. Make him come here by coming right through here. And then you got a touchdown block on the safety. Okay, that's pretty cool stuff there, too. All right, other thing I like about all these plays, if you'll notice real quick, let's go through them. All right, boom, 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 boom. What'd you notice? They all look alike at the beginning. They all look alike at the beginning. Okay? The tailback is doing the same thing. The quarterback's doing the same thing until the tailback makes his cut to run the short trap, the quick trap, the gut, the long trap, okay, or the buck, whatever cut he's going to make. But the first few steps, okay, and that goes back. That's an old wing teeth thing. It's also an old Homer Smith thing. Okay, I read a bunch of Homer Smith stuff back in the 80s and 90s. He had a great book. I forget the name now, but make as much as you can look alike for as long as you can. The defense hates that, especially the linebackers. Make as much look alike as you can. Okay? All right. So that's it for this episode of Football Talk with Coach Chip. All right, this is a screenshot of my Facebook page, Football Talk with Coach Chip. Look, we're over 500 members. Let's get that joker up to 1,000. Okay, let's get it up to 1,000. Because here's the thing: you come on there, I'll respond. You can ask anybody. And one of the things right now that we're not doing on the Facebook page is getting enough interaction. Like I'll post things. Okay, and maybe I'm not doing a good job as being a conversation starter. I don't know, but some of y'all do it. Y'all send me these emails. You send me these messages. Post them on the Football Talk with Coach Chip Facebook page. Or if you're not a Facebook kind of person, there's a screenshot of my Twitter page. Okay, Coach Chip at Chip Siegel on Twitter. Hit me up. I will respond. I respond. No matter what you choose, you can choose to do it through the comments section below. You can choose to do it through direct message because I know some of you don't want people in your on your schedule in your region in your district, whatever you call it, wherever you are, to know what you're up to. That's fine. I understand that. Okay. But you got this. You can DM me. That's where this whole video was inspired from a DM, from a coach that was thinking, what's an alternative to running power so we can leave the H out there and not give away by formation. And another reason why I love this, let's go back. Notice every one of these were the same formation. If you want to go up tempo, the same formation is the way to go. And then, of course, you can always take your slot receiver and put him over here and run basically the same stuff out of trips. You massage the front, manipulate the front through formation, but you can run a really good running attack with buck and long trap and a counter off of it, but or a counter crisscross to the H, and that's on here too. But I'm going to link up um, several videos down below that are similar to this. Here you see a list of the things available. If you want any of these things, plus today's presentation, I have it available. It's not on the list, but it's there. You can contact me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. And if you want to get a copy of my playbook, which has been selling great, but the Big Book of Bucks has surpassed it, man, the interest, the buzz that's been created by this. I got big news coming that's come about in no small part because of these two books and because of your reaction to them. And also don't forget the free shareable presentations by simply sharing and or subscribing. If you're already a subscriber, show me a screenshot. Send it to post it on one of my social media sites. Send it to me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. And you'll get one of these right here or even today's presentation. By the way, go down there right now below, click on that like. They tell me it matters. I don't know why. If you're not a subscriber and you're watching, come on now, you're stealing from me and it doesn't even cost you anything to do it. Just subscribe. And I've started sending out emails to the people that I correspond with. I've made an email list. And if you don't want to be a part of that, just hit me up. I don't have that fancy stuff, where where it's a unshare or unsubscribe thing, just tell me, say, take me off that list, and I'll take you off. Okay? All right. That's it for this episode. I hope that I answered at least one coach's question and gave him and his staff some things to think about during the off season as we're getting ready for spring. As I post this or upload this to YouTube, it is almost mid-March, and spring training for high schools is right around the bend. The colleges have already started. And so now it's time to start thinking about what you're going to do. All right, y'all. Until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Be elite. Bye now.